Hey everyone, welcome to a new video. Today I'm going to be sharing with you 7 different ways that you could be making money with Midjourney and Leonardo.Ai. For those who are new to the channel, first off, welcome. For those who are consistent watchers, I want to say I apologize for not always posting consistently. As you guys know, this is Q4. I've been working hard the same way you guys have been, and we're trying to put out as much work, honestly, on the business side of things, not really much on YouTube, because as you guys know, I actually run businesses outside of the YouTube. I've been doing a lot outside of that, so just bear with me here. I'm trying to do as much as I can for you guys here. And coming into the new year, I know we're quickly approaching. You know, October is pretty much over. We have November and December, and then we're in the new year. So the best time to start is now for having success in the new year. You know, everybody starts January 1st. If you could start 60 days earlier, 2 months earlier, roughly about, you're going to have a huge advantage over everyone else. I did this, a few years ago. So I'm not going to keep rambling. Let's go ahead into get into these 7 different ways that you guys can make money with this image generation, AI image generators. More specifically Midjourney, Leonardo, but if you have any other tool that works well, that you feel works well, you can try this as well for those kind of tools. But Leonardo.AI, Midjourney, probably the most famous, probably the most effective. Dare I say most effective, because those are the ones that I personally use, but everybody has a different taste. So let's get into it. Number 1, upload images, AI images to stock photography sites. Okay, so there are different sites out there. Okay, you have Alamy, you have Dreamstime, you have Adobe Stock, you have so many. I just put a few here. Free Pick, Vecteezy, Adobe Stock 123RF. These are just a few examples, okay? Not all sites accept AI images, so you're going to have to go through, you're going to have to test, you're going to have to see what works. But it's good to have a portfolio of different sites. 2 reasons. Number 1, diversification. Okay, so if you encounter a problem on one website, well, guess what? You have another. You always have something to fall back on, which I know seems difficult moving forward because you're constantly concerned with, the work that you have to do, how much work you have to do, the amount of time you have to invest. I understand that. But there's automation tools, there's ways around things, and if you want, you could take a look at my YouTube channel. Like, I don't want to open it up right now, but once this video is over, you can click on my YouTube channel. If you just type in stock photography in the search of the channel, right, you'll see all kinds of videos. Even if you just scroll through, you don't even have to search. You'll see all kinds of videos of different softwares that I'm using, videos of me teaching how to do certain things on these stock photography sites. I even have a course that I put out around it with over 100 plus videos and a free software to show you how to do everything, which I'll leave the link in the description to the course if you want to get into it and learn more about it. But stock photography, AI stock photography, the reason why for me, I put it as number 1, and almost like a symbolic approach to the best and the easiest way to make money currently. Now, there's other ways to make money, which I'll share. Like I said, everybody's different and everybody has different tastes, but the effectiveness, very effective. You can create a AI image, upload it to one of these sites, and these sites can pay you 25 cents, 80 cents, 90 cents, $1 even. Some cases a little bit more depending on the site and depending on, what you're doing exactly with the image. But you can get paid for that image, and that image could be used by multiple people in the future. And of course, when it's used, you get you get money, right? Essentially, it's purchased, it's downloaded, and you get paid for it, which is actually a beautiful thing. And the reason why I say that is because most of these sites work off of a payment basis, and let me explain what I mean by that. They pay, or a customer pays for points, effectively, or credits, if you will. And these credits are worth downloads. And each credit is not directly looked at as a price. So from a consumer psychology perspective, when somebody goes out there and buys an image, let's just say there's an image for sale, and that image is $50, okay, or $10, or even $5 or $2. A lot of the times there's going to be some sort of friction with the consumer. The consumer might not necessarily want to trade their money for that image. They might look at it and be like, what is this image? This image is valueless to me, and I'm just going to give my money away for it. But it's actually a little bit different when you go to sites like these as a consumer. As a consumer, right, you're paying for a subscription. You're paying for a license. You're paying for credits. And with those credits, you can freely download images. And what happens is mentally that allows you to get more downloads. A lot of people sit there and say, there's so much competition on these sites, which there is a competition. That's nothing I can deny. Competition exists. However, the barrier to a sale is not as high as other sites. So there are people who come from Redbubble, from TeePublic, which, by the way, are great sites to make money on. I did not put them in my list, but we might as well add them mentally right now. So really technically 8 ways, not 7 ways. But you can take an AI image, upload it to something like a TeePublic, a Redbubble, a Zazzle, Society6, whatever it is. Maybe even do some manipulation to it. Maybe some editing, add some text, whatever. And you can make money off of that. However, in that case, the consumer, right, is trading their money directly for that product. So for them, they have to psychologically think about, is my money not as valuable as that item? And that's how the transaction occurs in every regard. Every time you purchase a product, and I'm sorry I'm rambling psychologically speaking, but I do have to explain this because you have to remember that if you want to make money, you have to view things from a psychological point of view, right? You have to put yourself in the consumer shoes. Every single time somebody makes money, somebody else looks at the product and sees the product more valuable than the income that they currently hold or the money that they currently hold. And they're willing to trade that money for that item, okay? So in this case, what happens is it lowers the barrier to that specific image of being purchased, which allows you to get more downloads. If these sites instead made consumers pay per image, you would get less downloads overall. So paying for a subscription, and then they download, sometimes depending on the site, download freely. Like for example, Vecteezy, consumers can download pretty much as much as they want, and you get a chunk of that download value. It's a really a great thing. So you make a lot of money. So of course, take that with a grain of salt. Depends how much work you do. It depends the automation, if you're doing it manually. There's so many things that it depends on, but this is just one of the aspects. And if you want to learn more, like I said, I have multiple videos on that. Okay. The next thing is taking the images and selling them on Etsy. And there's many ways you could do this. I listed a few here. You can set up bundles on Etsy, which I will show and I'll demonstrate. You can set up t-shirt designs, and that's an example, but you could, fill in the blank. Any kind of design, t-shirt design, hoodie design, patterns, scarves, pillowcase, you name it. Any kind of product design, right, with the AI image. Now you can add to it, you can customize it, you can do whatever. You can vectorize the image and sell it as an SVG. There's a lot of people who are on Etsy who are into the arts and crafts field. They like to make their own things, and some of them are not always artists, or maybe they're looking for something pre-made. So they might go on Etsy and they might buy a pre-made graphic, right, that is already a vector, so an SVG. They might upload it into, one of their softwares, like I think it's called Create Space or something. I can't remember exactly what it's called, but it's like some software that basically makes them stickers, and they like to make their own stickers. There's so many different things you can do, but selling the vectorization of that image can be used on so many different things. And like I said, there's a lot of people on there who like to create their own things, especially when we look at demographics. Most of consumers on Etsy, like about 70%, are female. And they like to create their own things, and that's a great thing. And it not only helps us earn more income, but we're serving the need, right? We're producing for people that have a certain demand. And of course, JPEGs and PNGs that you can customize. So for example, I do this as well. You take an image, maybe add a little customization to it, maybe even turn it into something like a t-shirt design, but only sell that PNG, right? As opposed to selling the actual t-shirt with the design on it. Does that make sense? So there's many different ways, and I'll just kind of show some here. Like for example, on Etsy, this is what I mean when I say bundles. So I just typed in the search like Halloween SVG. You look at something like this, or something like this, or like there's so many, right? Something like this. There's so many packs of images. Like you look here, there are these packs. Now, if you notice here, I'm not signed in on Etsy on this computer, but I'm definitely signed in on my other computers, and I'm working there, and I gradually upload. I'm not a huge Etsy connoisseur, you know what I mean? I make about anywhere from $3 to $5K a month on Etsy. It's not huge. It's not crazy income, but it's decent. It's nothing crazy. Like I said, I actually should kind of push it a little bit harder, but it is what it is. I only have a certain amount of time in a day. I can't do everything, but bundles like this absolutely work. Now, this person here created like these patterns, and he or she bundled them, but there's other things that you can sell. Like, for example, these little, I don't know what they are, emotes or sticker kind of things. Let's see here, the Halloween Witch Discord Kick bit badges. Okay. Now, I want you to also notice like the sub niche aspect. So instead of these just being regular images, from a keyword perspective, it says Halloween, right? And then it says Discord Kick, which is a streaming website, Kick. You have Discord, Twitch, right? These are all different streaming sites. The Discord is that chat site where you kind of like set up groups and stuff. But essentially, there are people searching for that, right? So they might search for Kick Halloween sub badge, right? And this could potentially come up and create more money. This is why I say it's like creating your own specific kind of niche, finding a low competition niche. If some of you guys have seen my older Etsy videos, which by the way, I don't have many, because for me, Etsy is rather simple. I really don't have to work too hard on it. Etsy for me is very, very basic. I find things that are low competition, and I create for it. That's it. Whether it be a t-shirt, whether it be a graphic. Most of my products have been digital, but a lot have been, I don't want to say a lot, but some of my products have been physical. I'm not going to say maybe 25% have been physical and 75% have been digital, and they made income. You know what I'm saying? So it's nothing too difficult to create, but it's just the aspect of creativity. Like, this person didn't just mention only PNG, right? They mentioned the Kick, sub, badge, whatever. So you can get creative. You don't have to do Kick or Twitch or anything like that, but you could find your own kind of niche yourself. What is this here? This is more graphics. Okay, so this is a pack. This is what I mentioned, the bundle, right? I think like thousands. This is like 14,551 Procreate brushes. That's an example, let's see here. Of like tattoos, I think. Tattoo brushes. You get the idea. There's a lot here. Okay, now the 14,000 are not for $3. There's a different options, but you have graphics as like $11, $12. You have the whole package for $30. To be honest, right? If somebody was selling me 14,000 of anything for $30, it's probably a good deal. I mean, you're getting a big bang for your buck. And you could see this store. This store has 1,000+ reviews. That's pretty hefty. That's a lot of sales over time. And remember, you only have to create the product once. The thing that I find with Etsy, and this is probably why I don't do Etsy as much as I used to, is I liked before finding ways to automate things. I don't always like to sit there and work on it, but I always work on the business first just to figure out how to do it well. Once I get good at that business, or once I have a system that works for me, I either hire people, I find softwares that automate things, I figure out ways to kind of remove my energy in it. Because, like I said, I do a lot every day. So for me, I would hire people, right? Now, that didn't work out too good in the beginning. It got better later down the road, but I just didn't need to do it anymore. I just stopped focusing on that, specifically with Etsy. But like I said, there's many things that you can generate income from. So the people that I hired for Etsy, and I told them exactly what to do, from keyword research to creating the product, the whole thing. That's where I generate my income from on Etsy now, mostly. I think like maybe 80%. But these are different examples of things that can live on and stand through the test of time truly. Like, for example, you look at this. This is a mega pack of 1,500 files of different black and white type images of vehicles, whether it be motorcycles, pickup trucks, Mack trucks, trailer trucks, everything, right? But this will get orders over time. It could get 5 a day, 10 a day, 20 a day, hell, even 1 a day. It's still producing some level of income. And you have to start somewhere, right? So it doesn't have to be as big as this bundle, but it could be anything on the list here, and you just create and you kind of walk away from it. And the beautiful thing about everything that I preach here with these videos and the ways to make money is, when you're generating income, it's very, very difficult to rely on one source. It's very stressful mentally. I'm always a big recommender, right, and a big advocate of having multiple streams. You don't always have to knock everything out of the park and have that one great intense system that makes you tens of thousands of dollars. What you could do is you could take your energy and divert it, and over time it adds up. Believe it or not, if you look years down the road, right, looking backwards, you've maybe generated 5, 6, 7, 8 streams of passive income. And it is truly passive, because when you create something like this, like I just showed, right, and you really knock it out of the park, you do a very good job, it will generate income with time. I'm not saying that the income might dwindle over time, but it's still generating income over time. And you don't always have to trade your time for money. You get good at these platforms, you generate more over time, you have different streams. Next thing you know, you're generating more income. And years down the road, you'll wake up and you'll see $500, $800, $300 a day generated, and you're kind of amazed at how it all accumulates, which is the snowball effect. I made a whole video on that, made multiple videos, but you can search them on my YouTube channel, and businesses all start this kind of way, especially the type of businesses that we're in. Is imagine you have a snowball on a very snowy hill, you're at the top of the hill, and you roll that snowball down. As that snowball kind of like rolls down, it's going to accumulate more snow. It's going to get larger and larger and larger. The larger it becomes, the faster it rolls down. The faster it rolls down, the more snow it accumulates. So there is this compounding effect on the work that you have to do. Of course, in the beginning, you have to do the work, even withstanding all the mistakes and the wasted time and the errors. But over time, you get good enough to where you actually start making money, and that money now pays for itself over time, right? For the effort, for the time that you wasted, etc. But I really don't like to say the word wasted, because it's an investment. You're investing your time to reap some results down the road. Let's take a look at number 3. Number 3 is upload images to a custom-built website, injected AdSense, or sell each photo. So let me explain what this is, because I do plan on making maybe a couple guides in the future about this on YouTube, but there are millions of websites on the internet that are websites where you can download free images, and these images are AI generated. Now, whether it's the purpose of a wallpaper type image, or whether it's a coloring book type image, or whether it's a graphical type image like a vector, or a black and white type image, an icon, whatever the case is, there are people creating these images, uploading them to their own personal website, and making their personal website a kind of AdSense factory. So they're adding AdSense onto the website. So if you guys are familiar, Google AdSense is like this ads platform where you put ads on something and it makes you money over time. And it's really only designed for 2 things. It's designed for YouTube, and it's designed for websites. So you can create your own website, and you can put these graphics on there, and you title them, right? People will find them over time. They'll come to your website, and you'll have, like, let's say, a download button. And before somebody can click on that download button, a Google ad will pop up, and you'll make money from that ad when people see those ads or they're exposed to those ads. And the more and more people that see those ads, the more downloads you'll get, etc. But the downloads, really what you're doing is you're trading the download for the ad's presence. That's really what you're doing. And you can make money over time through that. I'm not saying you're going to make a ton of money. It clearly just depends on what's your website, and how much traffic you're getting, etc. But that is a viable option. Once again, it's not the most profitable. There are different, different boats for different folks here. There are different ways to make the money here. So, this is not going to be the same for everybody, but somebody might like this idea, okay? And you can choose to either sell each photo, or you can do an AdSense type website where the photos are free and you're just making money off the AdSense. Now, years ago, I don't know if people were watching me years ago, 4 years ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, I mentioned that there was somebody I knew who was a photographer. Now, they had no real experience on the website creation side, so I told them, listen, you go out there, you take as many photos as you want, you send them to me. I'll create a website for us, and every sale that comes in, I'll take half, and you take half. Just that simple. We sold that website like 2 years ago. However, it was earning great income at one point. I think it was like making like $1,200 a month. Now, it's not crazy amount of money, but it's a little side income, And we split it, did well. There's nothing crazy about it, but it did well, and it was something that did well at the time. So this is kind of the similar idea. I just don't have as much confidence in a website where you're selling photos now, on your own website, because there is AI. There's too much competition a little bit. The landscape has changed in the last 2 years pretty drastically. I knew that when AI image generation started to come out, it was time to sell, so we sold, and we did perfectly fine, but you get the idea. I think AdSense is a better route to go now, but, it's still, you can kind of choose your options if this is something you want to do. And yes, I'll do tutorials in the future, but if that's something we decide to do, But number 4, uploading images to a custom-built app. So apps are a little bit better because there are more people on apps. You don't have to necessarily search on Google for a website, and then find the photo and then download it, etc. But people have phones, and you put that app on Android, put that app on Apple, the App Store, and people will download the app and their images there, and you'll make money off of something called AdMob. AdMob is like the AdSense, right, of apps. And there are these ads that go on the iPhone app or the Android app, and it makes you money. And it works as simple. You don't have to learn how to code to create these apps. In my members area, I kind of showed how this is done, but very basic, very easy to do, not difficult. Definitely costs a little bit of money to get started. And when I say a little bit, I definitely mean a little bit. I don't mean a lot when I say a little bit. I know some people might get confused. You don't need much. You just need to pay for the license to be able to create apps. For Android, that's like $5 or $10, something like that. For Apple, it's like $100. It's called the developer account. Then after that, you have to pay for the software that actually allows you to create these apps without code. Some, they vary. $30 a month, $50 a month, $70 a month, $20 a month. Different softwares, right? There's different kinds. And then, of course, you have to pay for the actual image generation software that can do that. All right, let's go to number 5. Okay, take images and use them to contribute to YouTube videos. So I first got this kind of idea when, if you guys are familiar with Andrew Tate, he kind of blew up. I'm not going to talk about him. I'm not going to say anything positive about him. I'm not going to say anything negative about him. My opinions are outside of the frame of this video, but I do want to show some videos that were, I guess, made by his organization. I don't really know. But they're these kind of like these YouTube videos, but they're generated with AI imagery, right? So I'm going to hit play here real quick, and you guys are going to see what I'm talking about.
The story of the Jade Tiger. During my training atop Wudon, I heard...
All right, so you kind of get the idea. I'm going to kind of mute it, make it a little bit smaller, and have it play a little bit more, just so you can kind of see. These are all AI images that are generated. And you're kind of creating a video through it. Now, this person is telling stories, kind of like fable, novel type stories, but they're pretty cool. They're interesting, and they're made through AI, right? These kind of videos and in this kind of context. You don't have to do something just like this, but the idea works, right? Where you can create a YouTube channel that's pretty much faceless, that has images that are generated by AI, and it has maybe like some audio or something like that, whether it be you're doing a voiceover, somebody else is doing a voiceover, but it does work, and this is an option that you can use AI images for. A lot of the times, one of the biggest things that held people back from monetizing YouTube channels is for this reused content issue. So if they were going to speak on something, or if they were going to make a video about something, they would use other people's imagery, right, from other YouTube videos. So let's say they were commentating on another YouTube video, or they're commentating on, somebody going through something like these news channels and things like that. Well, they wouldn't be able to always monetize their videos because that content was already used on YouTube, and you're not necessarily allowed to use that or even monetize a channel with that. But now, if you have these AI images, right, and let's say you do a natural voiceover, you could then monetize. I know some people do have issues with AI voice. I wouldn't necessarily recommend AI voice just yet. Maybe in the future, it could get little more natural. Now, it does feel very natural. Like you have something called 11labs.com where it sounds very, very natural. However, right, YouTube could still kind of detect and have issues with that. So with my recommendation for the future, if this is the route you want to go, you want to create some YouTube videos with AI, you can do it. Just hire somebody, like either do your voice or you do the voice part yourself and record that way. But you can use AI images to create YouTube videos. You just have to find the right niche. You have to do that whole thing. It's not easy, and I'm definitely not a YouTube master. I'm decent at YouTube. I don't even know if I'm decent, but I've been in the game for a little while. So, 2 years, 3 years on this channel with 45K subs roughly, so it's not too bad, but you get the idea. Okay. And you guys kind of saw a live example there, but if you want to see that, you could just search Tales of Wudon on YouTube. I originally saw them on Twitter, but Tales of Wudon, you'll find all kinds of different videos that might stir up some thoughts and some ideas. All right, so the next one, sell coloring books. So anybody who's in the print-on-demand world is probably aware of the KDP world. Believe it or not, way before print-on-demand, I had my clothing website. So I would buy products overseas, and I would kind of customize them. Like I would tell the manufacturer, hey, I want this change, that change, this change, and I would ship them out here. I would order them, they would come to me, and I would ship them out to customers. I eventually got a little warehouse, etc. But while I was doing that, I knew eventually I would sell that business, which I did. And during that period of time is when I started KDP, which oddly enough, around the same time when I sold the clothing business, I also sold my KDP. But anyways, you could do KDP. KDP stands for Kindle Direct Publishing. It's changed now since I started, but basically what you could do is with these AI images, you can create these coloring book type pages. So I made a video a year ago, 2 years ago, a year and a half ago, who knows? But it's titled Using AI to Make Coloring Books with One Click, Leonardo.Ai. And you can create these images, not just with Leonardo.Ai, but you could also do it with Midjourney that are black and white, kind of like outline art that you could take, you could print them out, right? And people can color them. Now, in your case, you're not necessarily going to color them or anything like that. What you are going to do, though, however, is you're going to put them in these KDP ebooks. They're going to be uploaded to Amazon, and you can generate income from that. Now, is it saturated? Yes. But you have to, like I said, find the right niche. In every business, there are certain niches where you can kind of get your own little space in the market. However, what you will notice with KDP is that over time and very quickly, people will kind of scope you out. They know how to find products that sell, and they'll literally just copycat you. So what you do here is you have to prioritize your marketing. I've done very well in KDP in my past. Part of the reason that I do very well with KDP is because I don't actually go for creating all the time. Let me explain what I mean. A lot of people hyper focus on creation. Oh, I got to bang out these ebooks. And they might create 10, 20, 30, 40 ebooks a week. That's a lot. What I'll do is I'll create one ebook every maybe quarter or something like that. But that one ebook will have a lot of marketing behind it. I'll pay people to get reviews on there. I'll do all that kind of stuff. Now, people might say, oh, it's against the rules, this and that. You have to make sure that your reviews are shown, and you have to have a lot of reviews. I actually was thinking on this YouTube channel to create like a book club where we buy each other's ebooks or books and review them, give positive reviews. But I realized that's kind of too much of a hassle, to be 100% honest with you. There's a lot of issues that can come of it. Somebody could be a scammer and try to, fake buy other people's stuff. And then next thing you know, the honest people buy their stuff and give them reviews, but they don't get anything back. It could create a whole bunch of issues. I personally don't want to manage something like that, to be 100% honest with you. And more importantly, I probably won't even have the time. I'm just busy doing my own thing, but, your reviews are the number one thing that's going to help you sell more. And of course, when you get reviews, you get sales. When you get positive, and that's kind of why you need good ebooks, good content. But in terms of coloring books, what's the content? The content is the images. You can create the images through AI, and you can kind of manipulate your way through the algorithm. Golden rule for Amazon. This goes for Amazon FBA. This goes for Amazon KDP. This even goes for if you're not doing FBA or KDP, but you have a seller account, Seller Central account, and you're uploading products there. Maybe you're not doing FBA, but you're just putting listing products. Reviews are the number one thing, but the only way you can get reviews is a couple sales. So how do you do that? There are ways, there are groups, there are things that you could do that you could pay for that can make that happen for you. That's all I'll say. I'll leave it there because I think that's against TOS, but hey, it is what it is. I've told you guys this before, but with all the businesses, I try to find how to manipulate the system, okay? And sometimes I can and sometimes I can't. I'll give you a quick example. Like YouTube, there's nothing to manipulate. There's nothing I can do. I can't just make millions of views, by manipulating the system. There's no software I could buy. There's nothing I could do to do that for me. But with Amazon, there's absolutely things that I could do. They might be against TOS, but if they're undetectable, they work. And they did work for me. But anyways, I'll leave that at that. You can make money selling, coloring books and things like that on KDP. So I'll leave that where it is. All right, we already have this here, selling coloring books. Last one is selling puzzles. So people love puzzles. And I know you might not necessarily be doing puzzles, but trust me, there's a huge market for puzzles. And what you can do is, this is just an example. I put Printful here. Printful has these puzzles here that you can use. They're not crazy expensive. I've seen more expensive manufacturers, but $23 for a 520-piece puzzle is not bad. It's not terrible, So I've seen puzzles that cost a little bit more, but you can upload your AI images to these puzzles and create like a store that's kind of unique. Now, I personally recommend you do it with either Shopify, WordPress, or you can create landing pages. Now, there's ways to do this with the whole landing pages thing. And by the way, I want to go back to the KDP thing for just a minute, but I'll kind of talk about that when I mention landing pages. Let me put a D here for landing pages. But Shopify stores, let's kind of talk about it. You can create a store with 20, 30, 40, 50 different puzzles, right? And sell those puzzles. You can create a brand around that. And I know exactly how I would do it. What I would do is I would run Facebook ads, I would run Pinterest ads, and I'm damn good at those. But I would also take a bunch of puzzles, pay for them, maybe like $300, $500 worth of puzzles, and I would send them out to people who like utilizing puzzles. But they also need to have some sort of fan base, right? And I'll give it to them, and I'll say, hey, please give me a review or something like that on your Instagram. They would give me a review. People would follow them. People would pay from my store. They would go buy products from my store. That's essentially how I would do it on Shopify or WordPress. Now, honestly, Shopify is a little bit better of an experience, and I'll have a link in the description if you want to get access to Shopify for a full 3 months for just $1. I'll leave a link in the description. You can get access to it. Normally, Shopify currently is $40 a month. It used to be $30 a month. They made it $30 a month only if you're paying for the whole year up front. I don't recommend you pay for the whole year up front at all. I just recommend that you pay for the month-to-month account. Yes, it's $10 more, but if you need to cancel, you can cancel, right? But you can get access to $120 value worth of Shopify in the link in the description. You only pay $1. Okay, so I'll leave that link there. But Shopify is a little bit better of a design experience, all that kind of stuff. You use a good Shopify theme, make it all work. But you can do that selling puzzles. Now for landing pages, this works with both the puzzle thing and the ebook thing. So let me get this clear. When I mentioned KDP is not the only place where you can sell an ebook. And Shopify, WordPress, is not the only system that you can sell a puzzle. There's the world of what you call a funnel or funnels. For those of you who have never heard of it, essentially what a funnel is it's a website but without all the menus and extra buttons that distract people. So if I was to create a page, for example, that's a funnel landing page, Ideally, what it would be is it would be a sales page where I either sell a funnel, or excuse me, a puzzle, or a book. It doesn't have to be a coloring book, but it could be a book, right? Or a puzzle on a landing page. And I would create the landing page, and I could show you guys how this is done. But Rocket Web Builder does a great job with this. Let me kind of show you here what I mean by that. Rocket Web Builder, we go over here to templates. And we can look at the various templates, but I'll kind of show you what I mean. We go over to landing page. Let's click this book landing page, for example. Okay, this is actually an opt-in, but hey, notice how there's no buttons here. There's no menu buttons or anything like that. You send people to the landing page, and their only focus is taking a look at that very product, right? And so how would that work from like a puzzle standpoint? Okay, well, the puzzle standpoint is simple. You're targeting the customer through an ad or whatever. They're clicking that link, and they get taken to that very product, right? So here is an example of a landing page for a funnel. Let's assume, and let's just imagine for a second, this is a puzzle product. And here are the different photos of people using puzzles, right? You have a buy now button here. When people click on it, it will take them to the next aspect of the funnel, which would be like step 2, which would be the checkout. I think we have section. There we go. Here it is. All funnels. So this is what a funnel is, right? Let's just use this as an example. So this is like step 1, which is the landing page, right? Step 2 is the checkout. So step 2, it says your cart is empty because I never added the product to the cart, but you get the idea. So if this is an active template, it would show me a checkout. And then finally, after the product is paid for, it would show thank you for purchase. And that's it. That would be the whole entire funnel. This is just the terms and conditions page, which doesn't really matter, but you get the point. So that's what a funnel is. Now you can set this up for an ebook. You can set this up for a coloring book. You could set this up for anything. And these work phenomenally well to sell products like this. Once again, I could potentially show tutorials in the future. It depends on how you guys want to see it, if you even want to see it, if you're interested or not. Some people are, some people aren't. It just depends on the person. But I'm just giving you an example. There's so many different funnels here. I'm not going to leave Rocket Web Builder's link in the description. You could just go check it out if you want to. RocketWebBuilder.com, right? That's Rocket, ROCKET, Web, W-E-B, and then Builder, BUILDER.com, right? And you'll go to templates, click around, find stuff. But for the ebooks, I would do things a little bit differently. Like, for example, if I have 2 options. I could either sell my ebook on Amazon, or I could sell it for a higher price on my own website. Which personally, I'm a big fan of selling stuff on your own website. Because once again, you guys know me. I'm a big fan of diversification. I do not rely on any platform to bring me in some sort of success. So you have to kind of create your own thing. So what I would do is I would look for like some sort of ebook or a book funnel, right? That looks something like a book funnel. So I'll look around. There's got to be one here somewhere. They have them all over the place. Let me see here. Booking. We have coupons. Here we go. We have a book funnel, right? And so this is like a download an ebook. So instead of here, I wouldn't give the whole ebook for free. Let's just say I give them one chapter for free and one segment, right? And then I would have a link that would take them to the purchasable page. So the page where they can actually purchase the product. Now this is a funnel, and this is step 1, which is the opt-in. Step 2 is the download. So where they download like that chapter or that page. Step 3 would be taking them to the next page, which really you can smash in the download page and the third step together, right? Where it takes them to the next page, whether it be a sales page directly on your site, if you want to sell the ebook on your site, which that's what I would do, or you can send them to Amazon and have them purchase the product there. If you guys are familiar with Onyx Singal, you could Google him. He had a whole bunch of ebook funnels. He's retired now. He doesn't sell any of his books or anything like that anymore. You can't even buy them if you wanted to. Maybe you could buy like used ones on eBay. But this was a guy who sold hundreds of millions worth of ebooks, who sold hundreds of millions worth of physical copy books, and he retired. He doesn't need to work anymore. He just doesn't. But this is a good example, right? Like, let's say you're I don't know, some sort of coach or something. You can give people a free segment of the ebook, and then you could prompt them, hey, if you like this, go buy my full book here. Now, once again, two options. Like, you could take them to Amazon, or you could take them to, your own landing page, which you could literally just create in a funnel and have them purchase there. It depends how you want to set it up. But that's essentially how a funnel would be built, which is why I left that part for last, which you can use Facebook ads to take people to that website where people download that free section. And it doesn't have to be free. I mean, you could set it up how you want to, but you could do Facebook ads, you could do Google ads, you could do Pinterest ads. If you have a YouTube channel, you can pay for YouTube ads, or you can have your YouTube audience go there. Like, let's say, for example, you're a weight loss coach on YouTube. You help people lose weight. You have different tips. You have different whatever, right? And people know that you're legitimate. Well, you could say, hey, guys, I created a books that I want to give a piece of it to you for free, right? They're going to be like, okay, I'm interested. I want to see if I could lose weight with your free guide. And if your stuff is actually good, then people will go to the paid stuff and be inclined to purchase. Obviously, if you have no information to share, you're not good at what you do, then it's not going to happen. But if you're good at what you do, people already know, right? People can tell whether somebody's good at something or not. Part of the reason you guys watch me make these videos is because I'm pretty good. I was going to say halfway decent, but to be honest, I'm trying to be humble, but the reality is I'm very good at what I do. When it comes down to making money through passive income, print on demand, things like that, I'm good at it. So you guys wouldn't be listening or watching if you didn't think so. So the reality is that, that's a way that you could do it. But, landing pages can sell puzzles, they can sell ebooks, they can sell whatever. If you want me to teach you how to do that kind of stuff, I could do it. I could show you how to do it, and you could be a master at it very, very quickly. So if you want to see those kind of things, let me know. I know that I talked a lot in this video. God only knows how long this video was, 41 minutes. I was going to say 45 minutes. But, hey, hopefully this video helps you guys out, all right? I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you guys for watching, and peace out. Bye.